Good morning. It's 6 a.m. I normally don't get up this early. I usually get up around 6:30 or 7, but filming makes things take longer. So give this video a like. Part of starting your day off right. It's cliche, but make your bed. It feels so much better when you come home and it's made. Cheers. So here's the deal. I work, as we all do. We gotta work for a living. But a lot of people, I think, don't bring food for lunch and then they're stuck hungry at work, which is, for most people, 5 days out of the week. That's definitely gonna count as the majority of your time. And during those 5 days out of the week, usually 2 meals out of the day. So, breakfast and lunch, very dictated by your work schedule. A lot of people just will skip breakfast and then be ravenous for lunch and then order something for lunch. Not great for your wallet, probably not too great for your health over time. So I wanted to kind of introduce how I manage to make my breakfast, bring my lunch during days of the week that you just don't have all the time in the world. So that's the goal today. I'm just gonna kind of share with you how I prep my breakfasts, my lunches before work, make healthy meals without having to take a ton of time and make it unrealistic. So let's get into it. I just showed you, first thing I always have is coffee. I did a pour over method, but if you're pressed for time, this like little drip machine right over here, that works totally fine. You can do instant coffee. There's a ton of ways to do your coffee differently if you are somebody that really is pressed for time in the morning. Let's get into making breakfast. So these days I've been loving making my protein pancakes for breakfast, which sounds like it would take a lot of time, but I went ahead and did an extra step on my day off this week that made it a lot quicker for me. So we've got this little protein pancake mix that I made. So normally I would be taking out my blender, I'd be blending up oats to make oat flour, I'd be mixing in the right amount of baking soda, salt, protein powder. I just went ahead and mixed all the dry stuff in the correct ratios here. I just take out a half scoop, boom, put it in a bowl, add an egg, add half a cup almond milk, mix it up, pour. It's like, takes like 30 seconds to assemble rather than a couple minutes to assemble, which doesn't make that much of a difference, but all of these little like time-saving things over the morning are gonna compound and you're gonna save yourself a lot of time and be able to bring some food, take care of yourself, nourish yourself, all good stuff. So, gonna grab an egg and get started with this. Protein pancakes are so good because the vanilla protein powder, it makes them taste literally like little cakes, like true to their name, pancakes. So delicious. You don't even really need syrup with them, but you can definitely put it if you need a little bit more sweetener. Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm about to go do a workout, I'll put the syrup for the extra carbs. If I'm not, and I don't want a big blood sugar spike in the morning, sometimes I won't. But boom, just like that. Assemble this quickly as a box pancake mix, but it's way more nutritious. This is gonna be made with plant-based protein, so if you can't do dairy, totally fine, you can use this. Also, sprouted oats instead of just regular oats, and they're certified glyphosate-free, which, if you didn't know, oats are one of the most sprayed crops for glyphosate, which is a really not good pesticide for us. So if you can get it glyphosate-free, that's amazing, and sprouted just makes it easier to digest. These oats are also a little bit higher in protein than regular oats at 7 grams per half cup rather than 5, so very nutritious and delicious. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pan fry this. This usually makes 2, so yeah, let's get started. Okay, just kidding, I switched pans because I remembered that this pan gives me like the perfect size pancakes. So we're waiting for that to heat up. But in the meantime, we are going to get started on the next part of breakfast, which is a yogurt bowl. The key to the game of making a bunch of meals quickly is gonna be make use of the downtime. So waiting for that, I'm not just gonna sit here, play on my phone, drink my coffee. I'm going to get the rest of my meals done. So this is definitely something that comes with time, learning what has more like downtime, such as making pancakes. So start that first, and then you can kind of get everything else done while those are going. So I'm just gonna do a little side yogurt bowl with my busted cutting board. So it's just gonna be in here. This is just for a little bit extra protein. My protein pancake mix already has about 25 grams of protein per serving. Okay, 23, but a serving of Greek yogurt, which is only 2/3 of a cup, is another 18 grams of protein. So we're gonna give this meal above 30 grams of protein to help keep us satiated throughout the day. I think that's probably a little bit more than a serving, but that's all right. Greek yogurt is very good for you. I'm gonna go in and season mine with 2 things. Little pinch of salt. Always add salt to your sweet things. Seriously, trust me, there's a reason cookies always call for a pinch of salt. So we're gonna put a pinch of pink salt in there. Did I say 2 things? I meant 3 things. Also, some liquid stevia drops. If you don't like stevia, totally fine, just use honey or maple. But if you haven't tried liquid stevia drops, I recommend trying them. I think they have less of that like quote unquote stevia flavor that like powdered stevia does. So just a couple drops of this. And then we're gonna do a couple shakes of cinnamon because we've got an apple in here and that sounds delicious. I'm just gonna use a little bit of avocado oil. I'm using this instead of butter because I think butter tends to burn whenever I make pancakes. So high heat neutral oil. Go ahead and pour in enough to fill this bottom of the pan. That's why I like using this skillet. Foolproof amount of time for your pancakes is gonna be 2 minutes on the first side, 1 to 1 minute, 30 seconds on the second side. So I've been doing this, it seriously works, highly recommend for perfectly cooked pancakes. Timer, 2 minutes. And that way I don't have to like think about forgetting about it while I'm chopping my apple. Ooh, yes, perfectly golden brown. Look at all those edges. All right, and again, making use of our time now that I've finished up breakfast. Had to transfer my yogurt into a bigger bowl, but here she is. Lots of protein, good fiber. Honeycrisp apples are in season, so delicious. Anyway, but we're gonna start lunch now. So lunch, I try to make really easy. So I have some leftover rice in the fridge, bone broth rice, which sounds super dramatic, but it's just bone broth that we had in the freezer, defrosted, made rice with it. Gives it a little bit of extra protein and extra flavor. You can also use like bouillon or just season up your rice, it's fine. So, le rice, there she is. 2 of these black pepper Parmesan chicken sausages that are already fully cooked. We're just gonna warm them up a little bit from Costco. Good protein. Then we're going to do the last of this fire roasted veggie mix. Mix all this together, add a little bit of green onion. It's gonna be a good lunch. Also, this is kind of going to be a like microwave meal, as in I'm going to like warm up all the ingredients using the microwave. So I am going to be using a glass Tupperware container. If you don't have glass or you don't like the microwave, you can also do this on the stovetop. It just does take a little bit longer. So we're gonna cut up 2 of these guys first and then put that in the microwave for about a minute just to get their juices flowing so we can kind of mix it in with everything else. I did already flip my pancake and get the other one in there just because it's obviously tight time restraints and I'm filming. But I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 of these guys out. Like I said, they're fully cooked, so you don't have to worry about like getting raw chicken juice on you. That's my timer to flip. So as you can see, the timer is really important for me because it helps me kind of not let these pancakes get overcooked while I'm also trying to work on other things. Cool, so here is our gorgeous high protein breakfast. We've got the chicken sausage. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of rice and some veggies. And this is kind of just a blueprint that you can do for any sort of meal. So like whatever carbs you already have cooked in your fridge left over, or if you don't usually have leftovers, I recommend cooking extras throughout the week so you can do this. But yeah, some sort of carb, some sort of vegetable, some sort of protein, mix it all together, maybe make a yummy sauce if it's not flavorful enough, and boom, it's a really quick, easy lunch just from leftovers. So I got my serving of veggies in there, a little bit of rice. Also, if you make rice and then use it in your lunches later, it has this thing called resistant starch, which is where a carbohydrate has been cooked and then cooled down, and the starch basically forms this, like I said, thing called resistant starch, which acts a lot like fiber in your gut. So it's really gut healthy, and it also kind of slows the digestion of carbohydrates into your system. So things like white rice, pretty high glycemic index, but when you cook them, cool them, and then reheat them, they now have resistant starch, so the glycemic index goes way down. So if you have blood sugar issues or you're just trying to keep a little bit more stable blood sugar throughout the day, that's a great way to do it. But yes, here we go, the little mix. We're gonna add a little bit of some seasonings, some garlic powder, black pepper. I think my veggies need a little bit more salt, so we're gonna add some of that. And then it's gonna go in the microwave for 1 more minute just to defrost those veggies. Again, making use of my downtime while that's in there, we're getting everything cleaned up. She's done. I'm gonna give her a little mixy mix. Boom. And then this is where I'll sometimes, if I want to, add like half an avocado. Right now I have some chopped up green onions from dinner last night, so I'm just gonna put that on. Oh, also a little bit of cilantro in there. Put that on as a little garnish, a little extra flavor, a little extra green. But yeah, that's done. And then I'm also gonna bring a grapefruit just for some extra vitamins and fiber and filling deliciousness. But yeah, that is all for today. I made this meal in what? Each side of the pancake took 2 minutes, so 4 minutes per pancake. Mixing it took 8 minutes, so 9 minutes. Let's just add an extra minute for setting everything up. And then this, 2 minutes in the microwave and maybe like a minute to throw everything in, so 5 minutes. Even if you didn't stack everything like I did, takes 15 minutes tops. So it definitely doesn't take as much time or effort as people think to nourish yourself properly. Make sure that you have food for your work days throughout the week. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Maybe gave you some meal ideas, maybe gave you some inspiration of how to fuel yourself properly for a work day. Subscribe if this was helpful for you, if you would like to see more meal ideas, more ways to kind of stay on track even if you are working full time. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.